Welcome to the FanDuel Punch-Out. I'm Jason Gilbo, J Gilbo 11. With me is Russell Clay at Russell J Clay, breaking down a mammoth 15-game slate here and a lot more hitting options.
The FanDuel what? The FanDuel what? The FanDuel Punch-Out.
Breaking into tonight's action, we have Marlins and Phillies. Vincent Velasquez, Jose Arena. I'm not really a big fan of offense in this game. I mean, obviously, I'm sure people are going to be intrigued with Yelich and Stanton again just because of those price tags. Don't hate him in GPP still. But overall, I think this game in general is not something I'm looking at from the Marlins side.
Yeah, I'm okay with those two, and I'm okay with Maikel Franco on the other side there. But other than that, I'm not really looking at this game. There's plenty of games, as we'll get into, and I don't think this is one where you necessarily need to target, especially on the Marlins side.
Yeah, definitely an agreement. And Maikel Franco on the other side was really the only other name that was price considered that I would really look at.
Right.
Brewers and Pirates, next one here, Jameson Taillon versus Junior Guerra. This one here, the Pirates offense is a little bit priced up higher. Obviously, I like Marte's price tag at 3.5. I still don't hate this lineup against Junior there. I mean, I think it's going to be super contrarian, definitely just a GPP move. But I really don't mind it still.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call. In terms of sort of ownership percentages, I think there's a decent shot at getting some decent ownership there. So I do like that. As far as this game goes, though, I'm really just looking at Pirates. I'm not really looking at Brewers.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, we talked about some of the Brewers' bats on DK, but that's because they had better points per dollar value. Here, not so much. I mean, it's kind of hard to get behind Braun and Lucroy near in 4K. Not really a big fan of that. And even Scooter, who's usually a decent value, not really much so here tonight.
No, not really.
Dodgers Nationals here. You got Scott Kazmir versus Reynaldo Lopez, and some of these guys are a little bit better priced here on the Dodgers side. And I like them a little bit more. Seager's still expensive, but you got to like the Justin Turner price tag. I'm sure you got to like Gonzalez and Puig, both around the 3K range. So Dodgers much more playable for me here on FanDuel than they are over on DraftKings.
Absolutely. Turner, got to love that price at 28. Obviously, he does actually pretty well against righties. So definitely like that there. I'm okay with Utley at 27. I'm even okay with Seager at 37. Again, I think this is a much more appealing team than on DK. So I think we can fire in some Dodger shares tonight on FanDuel.
Yeah, definitely agree. And you look at this Nationals team, I mean, I don't mind the value here with some of those right-handed bats. I mean, Turner, obviously a punt play, but you have like the Jason Worth price tag at 3,200 for a guy who's crushed lefties, and Wilson Ramos at 2,500. I don't mind there either.
Yeah, definitely. And like you, yeah, Worth is a really strong play tonight.
Yeah, and Daniel Murphy, I mean, if he's in the lineup, it'll be definitely a guy who I'll be looking at, even with the lefty-on-lefty matchup, because Murphy just continues to rake, and he's only 3K.
For sure.
So, Orioles and Yankees, next one here, Vance Worley versus Nathan Eovaldi. And here we're obviously liking both sides of this, and I think you got to like the Orioles side of things here. Just a matter, I mean, that lineup kind of shakes out. If Davis and Wieters come into play and play tonight, they're both top options for me, top three options at their respective positions. But also, I don't mind Machado, I don't mind Scope or Jones against Eovaldi.
Yeah, that Wieters, Davis, Machado little stack there could be really high upside for their prices. So I really like that. If they're not in the lineup, I still like Machado. I think we can go at Trumbo as well. If he is batting in the 4 spot or something like that. So I think you can definitely multiple ways to go with this Orioles lineup, as you mentioned, Scope as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, you look at this Yankees side, they're okay priced. Beltran is more expensive than I'd like, though. I think I'd roll with McCann. McCann and Gardner are the guys I'm making moves with.
Yeah, it's a little bit reversed from DraftKings, where Gardner and Ellsbury were the more expensive options, yet Beltran's been the far more consistent guy out of that 4. So I think he kind of deserves that price tag. I'm with you. It is a little more expensive than I would like. I don't mind him. I still think a front 4 Yankee stack is certainly in play and a little bit better value here on FanDuel. Yeah, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Mets and Cubs, Noah Syndergaard versus Jake Arrieta. I'm not really looking at anyone from this game. I think both sides are still too expensive for me, even though they are kind of dropped down. One of the lower totals on the night, I think it's just kind of a fade.
Yeah, definitely in agreement there. Where are we on? We're on Mets Cubs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not touching this game either side offensively. I just don't think it's worth it.
No, I don't think so either. Even price consider with the drop downs, I'm not really looking. Rizzo more expensive tonight. Brian at 3.5. It's just too tough of a matchup for me to get behind these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Twins and Tigers, Anibal Sanchez versus Tommy Malone. Once again, I think both sides are definitely intriguing. Obviously, the right-handers against Malone are in play for me. 365 WOBA to righties this year, 1.38 home runs for 9. I like Ian Kinsler. I think he's been the most consistent against lefties out of this team, while the other ones are really nice price tags, 1 through 6, right?
Yeah, definitely agree. I think we can really look at a high upside type of grouping here. Obviously, you like Vegas and what they're saying about them, so I think this whole game in general is really strong.
Yeah, I definitely do too. I mean, that twin side, you look at Sanchez. I mean, he struggled against both sides of the plate. I mean, lefties have hit him well. You look at righties. I mean, righties have really tagged him this year. So I don't mind a Dozier at 3.4, even though it's not a lefty matchup for him. I don't mind Sano. And Eduardo Nunez, I mean, 3.2. He's been relatively high priced over the last really month or so. So I don't mind that drop down.
Yeah, definitely agree there.
So it just looks like those secondary pieces for the Twins are much better values than what they were over on DraftKings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Nunez price is very, very different. So, Sano, I mean, I even still like Sano a little bit, but it is more expensive. Nunez kind of fits in more lineups.
Yeah, definitely. Reds and Braves next one here, and we'll talk about the Braves real quick. We mentioned Cody Reed being an option, but if you want to punt with a guy like Jeff Francoeur, I really don't mind that. I think he's the guy who I'm looking at just because Reed does give up a lot of home runs. Obviously, we talked about some upside for him, but we talked about the downside as well. So if you're looking at the downside, I don't mind Braves right-handers in that ballpark with some potential pop.
Yeah, definitely agree.
As far as the Reds go, I'm looking at really 1 through 5 there. I really like the Adam Duvall price tag at 3K. Same thing with Billy Hamilton. Cozart's the odd man out for me. I like 2 through 5 in a stack. So with that being said, I think you can go elsewhere at shortstop.
Yeah, Votto and Bruce are expensive, but they're kind of worth it against Jenkins. Duvall, really the real value there. I mean, I guess he's priced down because it's righty on righty, but I mean, Duvall's splits are fine versus righties, so definitely throwing him in there. I like him quite a bit.
Yep, me too. He's going to be one of my favorite plays. And I still think Billy Hamilton with that stolen base upside had 3 last night. If he gets on, he's running. I love the new lineup spot for him. He's going to get that extra at bat in where beforehand he was batting 8th or 9th and didn't necessarily get that. So projected for over 5 runs in that ballpark. I really like that Reds offense quite a bit.
Agreed.
Giants and Red Sox here. And I think the price is a little bit more easier to handle as far as the Red Sox go. I mean, yes, Betts, Ortiz are still relatively expensive, but guys like Bogarts and Pedroia, I think you got to like those prices, and even a Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these are really reasonable prices. The Pedroia Bogarts Hanley grouping all under 35 is really strong. I mean, a team projected for 6 runs. I mean, you're still looking at Ortiz. I think you look at this whole lineup, make that 1 through 4 stack, or if you want to swerve off of Ortiz, you can go to Hanley and save that 900. But yeah, overall, that's definitely a target of mine for tonight.
Yeah, definitely agreement. And as far as the Giants go, Belt and Posey are priced around too many other guys that I like a lot more. Obviously, I still don't mind the Giants offense tonight. I don't mind a pick on for value. I still don't mind Brandon Crawford at 2.8. But I think those guys are more intriguing than Belt and Posey at their respective price tags.
Yeah, for sure.
Indians and Royals here. Danny Salazar versus Brian Flynn. Indians bats here. I think you got to like Mike Napoli's price tag at 3.2. I think that's a really intriguing option. And Rajai Davis, not quite the value you wanted, but obviously against lefties, he's certainly in play leading off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's strange that he's priced down because we mentioned him on DK as one of the guys we're sort of targeting in this lineup. So 3-2, really nice value for some potential power upside there. Beyond that, though, the stack is in play, but I don't necessarily love the prices of the Kipnis, Lindor, Davis grouping.
No, that's definitely my take as well. Davis would probably be my preferred if I was going to choose between those three guys, because I think there are some more enticing options, like a Bogarts who is cheaper, like a Diaz who's cheaper as well.
Right.
As far as the Royals go, I'm not really looking to attack Salazar. They have not had good success against him. Um, even at their price tags, I still think they're too high for the matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I just can't get behind them.
Padres and Cardinals here. Carlos Martinez versus Colin Rea. Obviously, not really looking at Padres with Carlos Martinez on the hill. I really like these Cardinals bats. I like the prices. I think they're a little bit easier to accommodate in your lineups tonight. And you look at Rea. I mean, very average against right-handers. 333 WOBA allowed. 1.13 home runs per nine. So I'm not expecting really a downside to the Cardinals tonight. I think that upside's there.
Yeah, we certainly like that Randall Grichuk price a little more, huh?
Yeah, definitely more easier to stomach in
Yeah.
consideration of DK, where he was like 46 or 4,800.
Right. I think there's multiple ways to go with this lineup. One of my favorite of the night. So I think you can go Piscotty, Diaz, and then Grichuk, Pham, and I think you're looking at a really strong start. And then you can throw in whatever pitcher you want there.
Yeah, you definitely can, and it's a good value. It's a good value stack. So I think points per dollar wise, Cardinals are among one of the top teams tonight.
Yep.
Rays and Rockies here, and I don't mind some of these price tags. I don't mind Brad Miller at 3.8. I don't think it'll necessarily kill you if you're paying down at pitching. He's certainly intriguing against Chatwood. Even a Corey Dickerson at 3.7. It's still a little bit more expensive than you like, but tossing a little Corey Dickerson a revenge game, tossing back at Coors. I mean, maybe things kind of heat up for him tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're kind of just running this one again, and hoping for it to average out and get that higher upside result. I just think both these teams are pretty much. I mean, they're pretty reasonable. Obviously, Arenado is expensive again, but I think he's worth it again. I'm going right back to him, so that's kind of how I'm looking at this.
Yep, I like him. I like Story. I like Rayburn. I think those are kind of the three right-handers that I'm looking at. Not really looking at a DJ LeMahieu. Obviously, Cargo and Blackman are in play as far as GPPs, as we mentioned on DK, but the respective price tags, it's kind of just meh. I'd rather lean some other ways.
Agreed.
Blue Jays and Diamondbacks here. Aaron Sanchez versus Zach Godley, and Blue Jays are expensive here as well, but I do think they are in play as far as the front four. Donaldson's price tag is up there.
54. Jeepers. I mean, we talked about this on DK. Like, okay, I'm willing to throw this stack in just because, even though they are really expensive and hurting you, but they're just as expensive here as they are in DK. I think they're 100 less combined. So, yeah, I don't know how you stomach that one, honestly. I mean, you can still make that stack because you like that upside, but that is a major investment now.
It definitely is, and you got to imagine it at Donaldson's price tag that he needs a double dawn game for me to really justify that price tag.
Right.
Both him and Encarnacion need to absolutely plow through that and go combine for 8-9 RBIs together, because when I can get Arenado in Coors against a lefty for 1,000 less than Donaldson, the process for me doesn't shake out that I'm playing Donaldson.
I agree. Yeah, I just think you go Arenado in that spot. If you're really looking to pay up, I mean, 44 is expensive, you know?
But 54 it looks like child's play now compared to Donaldson at 5,400. I mean,
I don't think we should go down that road tonight, you know?
No, I don't think so either. It's just I love Donaldson. I like the matchup form. I like everything about it, but the price tag. And it's, we hopped into a restaurant. We're at a nice steak dinner. I'm going to order a $30, ribeye steak, and that's going to be Arenado. but then someone wheels out like this one that's shipped in from the back, like big 42 ouncer, and that's Donaldson. You're just like, you know what? I'm going to be content with my steak here. You know,
Exactly.
I'm fine. Right. That's how it is.
Medium well, please.
Oh my God, medium well.
Yeah.
Oh man,
What do you do? Raw?
No,
rare?
No. Yeah, I like medium rare.
Medium rare.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man, Russell. Man. Oh man.
What's wrong with medium? What's wrong with medium well?
Medium well on a steak? Come on, man. Why are you doing that to yourself? You got to get some pink in there.
Huh.
Try it next time. Your life will change forever.
Medium rare. Okay.
Dude, it's delicious. I'm telling you.
Okay.
That's out there. That'll be the question. I mean, how do you take your steaks?
Yeah, throw that in the comments how you get your steak done, and if I'm a loser for getting medium well.
I think the general consensus is definitely be in agreement with me because oh man, medium well. That's
medium well is still a little pink.
Yeah, but it's not pink enough. Like medium well just seems so blah. Like if Kyle Loesch was a steak, he'd be a well done steak.
Medium well done, yeah, well done. Agreed. Can't get a steak well done. Agreed.
No, so I think you got to go medium rare, medium at most.
All right.
As far as the Arizona bats go, Zach Godley, or as far as the Arizona bats go, not really looking at any of them against Sanchez. Obviously, some of those prices have kind of dropped down. I mean, obviously, a Lamb is intriguing at 3.5, but they kind of fall down my list a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely agree. That's kind of what you're looking for in terms of not really looking too strong at them. I just think it's a matchup to avoid.
Yeah, I think so too, especially at their price tags.
Mm-hmm.
Angels and Rangers here, and Rangers bats priced a little bit more higher than they were over on DraftKings, but I still don't mind them against Lincecum, who hasn't been great in most of his starts, and obviously I think they do offer some value in kind of mid-range plays.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you kind of look at that Fielder Mazzara grouping. That's really cheap. So I like taking tournament shots with those. They're not cash game guys, but for tournaments, I think they're a nice upside.
Yeah, definitely an agreement. And on the Angel side of things, I mean, 1 through 5 is very playable for me at their prices. You got to like the matchup against Kyle Loesch, who struggles against both sides of the plate. I know LA's not the best hitting park, but obviously I think really price considered or matchup considered, you're willing to overlook the bad ballpark factors.
Agreed. Yeah, this is sort of a unique game where the pitching's just so bad that I think we can overlook the park factors for a second.
Yeah. Houston and Oakland here. Next one, I like both sides as far as, you know, depending on what you want to do as far as tournaments and stuff. We talked about on the A's that Marcus Semien, Danny Valencia, Chris Davis, I mean, are the kind of the three that need to be watched out for by Keuchel, and I'll probably toss in more shares of Marcus Semien at 2,200 than I probably should. But it's hard to get away from that price tag against lefty. I know Keuchel has been better, but I'll definitely take that shot in GPPs.
Agreed. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at there. GPPs and kind of avoiding other than that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not a cash game playable for me. As far as Houston goes, I'm not completely in love with the price tags here. I mean, obviously, you got like Springer at 3.7. I think that's a nice range for him. Correa more expensive for me. Definitely just a GPP only. And I still think Carlos Gomez and Gaddis, I was hoping to be a little bit more cheaper, but they're in play, but more or less so here on FanDuel, just given a tick up in prices.
Agreed. Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm okay with Springer's price, but at the same time, Correa kind of gets that bump increase. I think some of the guys at the end of the lineup are still decent values, but other than that, sort of more of a tournament lineup than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. And in that ballpark, I mean, obviously it's not completely friendly for home run potential, but some of those guys, I mean, you hit one in the gap, they'll run for days. And obviously guys like Gaddis and Correa have, you know, their respective power. It's okay.
Right.
White Sox and Mariners, next one here, Wade Miley versus Jose Quintana. The only guy really in that Seattle lineup that I'm looking at is Nelson Cruz at 3,400 in GPPs. Obviously, Quintana's been solid this year. Still 1.12 home runs per nine to right-handers, and if there's anyone hitting a home run in the Seattle lineup off him, I think it will be Cruz.
Yeah, I agree. Cruz is the guy to look at there. 34 is pretty reasonable. Again, when you're looking at that type of matchup, you want it to be priced down, and he is priced down. So 3,400, solid upside play there for me.
Yeah, definitely agree. And on the White Sox side of things, I mean, I talked about this on DK. I continue to just try and work him in a top price pitching stack and hope that they hit. And against Miley, I mean, Miley not a good lefty. I mean, 362 well, but righties this year 1.51 runs per nine. But you look at this White Sox team. I mean, they've been in good spots day in and day out, this year, and continue to just disappoint. So obviously, I think prices considered, they still draw my interest a little bit. I'll still definitely have a stack just because Miley isn't a good pitcher, but it's always tempered expectations with this team.
For sure.
So that's going to wrap things up here with the FanDuel Punch Out. Be sure to check out dailyfantasycafe.com for all great tools and content.